I don't know if we're back, and I don't think I have video of myself anymore. Nope, I don't think we have it. But we are back. So let's head back to the Kraken's Eye in Port Mage. I did lose a little bit of progress, but whatever. I can just quickly slap those characters back together, but it's not a big deal. I already showed you how I'm doing it. We are back. I don't think it was an overheating issue on my computer, but it was definitely something. So we're loading in. I believe we were on Sandro. We were about done with him, so I'm going to zoom right to where we were. I think we were on weapon proficiencies, or about to name him, I believe. Yeah, it was naming him. We are back. Slowly loading in. Let me know if... No, we don't have any viewers right now, but if anybody comes back, let me know how we're doing with sound. Alright, we're back.
Still kicking, eh?
Alright, Thorl. And, yep. Alright, so let's rebuild Sandro. He was male. We'll quickly walk through it. Human, Savannah, multi-class, Rogue, Debonair, Crippling Strike. What did I have him? Fighter, Devoted, Discipline Barrage, maxed out. Yep, okay. I think we're going to leave it at that. I don't know if that was exactly the same thing I did, but as long as those two are maxed, I'm happy. Again, Tina, good girl. Goodness gracious, girl. I need to get you a quieter call. Where did I have him? It was... Oh, that's right, it was Old Velia. Intellect... Oh gosh, this question. I always forget what I put for him, but I think I put Laborer for now. That became an adventurer later. Rapier. For the tank bustin'. And finally we're here to how he looks. Now, for Sandro, we have a special one that I really particularly like. Some of you may recognize him, but that's the one I want. He wears quite a bit of black. A little bit lighter skin. He was pretty light skin. That doesn't show it, but I like that one because it's the closest I can get to him. He had brown hair. Probably a little bit darker. That can all be changed later. That can be changed as well if we don't like it. Let's brighten those eyes. A little too bright. There we go. Perfect. Head. A little too old. He's a younger guy. Now he always has a hood up, so I never really see his hair. But let's at least get the mustache and facial hair. Yeah, there we go. I wish you guys could see my face right now, because I'm totally taking that. I really want that to be his hair, even if it's wrong. That's actually better. Let's be honest. That's better. Alright, and what does he sound like? Well, he's a charming guy, mastermind of... Yeah, I don't know who that is. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, because you can't see me. Let's see. Roguish. Nah. No, not hunched. What should we do? I may be hamming up the character a bit, but, you know, I like what I like. Are you guys hearing any fan in the background? I got a big fan on my computer to keep it from getting hot, and I just want to make sure we're doing alright. So let me know if we're too hot in the chat, please. Yeah, I quite like that, because he's going to be well-dressed, no armor. Sandro Durand. Just go back. Rapier, Needle Strike for accuracy. Discipline Barrage to get more accurate. Can cripple people. Constant recovery. He's always healing, which is a nice bonus. Can you guys even hear me? You guys can hear me, yeah? No one says anything, I'm going to assume it's a no. And that's a problem. You can't hear me. Hello? 5 people? Help? Okay, I'm not. Hopefully this is recording properly. Devoted, which means good at the weapon. Roguish charm. Get somebody to join the side. All that stuff. All the stuff I've already gone over. Wonderful, wonderful world. Just check something right quick. Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yep, the audio input capture. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. It says it's hearing me just fine. Alright, so let's get his inventory done. Let's get, oh, that's not the guy we want. There we go. Boom. A little bit nicer clothing. Yeah, that's a little too dark for me. There we go. It was a little bit nicer. Not by much, but a little bit. And I believe... let's do this. That's better. That's... there we go. And we will also do... where is his... there's a rapier. That's all he's ever going to need. I mean, we can give him a bow just in case he gets in a ranged combat, but he's going to be absolute garbage with it anyway, so just... all we really care about is that rapier right there. That's all we care about. And then let's go level him up to 3. Of course, he's going to be frontlining, but he's a rogue. So if you want him to get through mechanics and things, we're going to want that, because he's going to be our guy that picks locks. Keep athletics up. He gets that from laborer, but we want mechanics. Bluff. We need to add bluff. Absolutely. Alright, so the ability tree. So he can knock down if we want. That'll come in handy later. But what we really want at level 2 is to get backstab, because we want him to get the damage, like the really good damage, like 100% extra damage against targets that are flanked or he's coming out of stealth. So yeah, thank you. I'm glad you agree. All right, the dramatic essence. Okay, I'm glad that you are on board with me on this. Diplomacy, streetwise, and bluff are going to be the main 2 passive skills I get for him. And I need him picking my locks, so mechanics 3, athletics 3. I'm basically going to keep athletics and mechanics equal to each other, with getting athletics first, so that he can heal in combat, because he's going to drop like a rock. There's no armor, not high constitution, not high resolve. You need to be very careful where you place him, Patrick. Alright, level 3. Arms bearer is useless on him. That's not good either. We want another rogue ability. Defensive roll. When critically hit, the rogue briefly becomes immune to engagement. This is going to be excellent. If he gets critically hit, he can get out. But, honestly, escape does the same thing and doesn't require you to get critically hit. So we're going to get that first. So he's primarily rogue. Basically, all he's using fighter for right now is this ability and the regeneration to keep him in the fight. Dramatic essence of Patrick. I'm reading the chat. I'm sorry. You guys are cracking me up. Alright, so we got Sandro Durand. I did lose the other characters, but I can, like I said, I can quickly slap them together at the end. I just hope we don't have another crash in the middle of this. Level 3 Adventurer. Who's next on the list? Hecate. Now, Hecate had a bit of a difficulty with, because this is a tiefling. There are no tieflings, but there are people with horns. So we're going to go to... trust me, that's not what we're using. The closest I can get to is Moon Godlike. Now, when we get to change the face, I can give her some horns, so just give us a minute on that. This will be good, because remember, this party does not have a healer, and we're playing it on Path of the Damned. So, we need some sort of healing, and when she gets hurt, she'll burst out some heals along the way. Now, Hecate is a monk that... We'll stay with the human body type. Yeah, we'll stay human. Is a monk that has taken the way of the long death. So it's kind of like this necromantic type monk class. So in order to kind of capture that, I am going to go multi-class. It's going to be a little weird kind of build, but I need to capture some of that necromantic magic that she uses, or will be using. But her first class is absolutely monk. And the Forbidden Fist actually does really well with this. These other ones are pretty good, but they're not thematically. I think like Nalpaska's like about drugs and stuff, and Hellwalker just gives her more wounds but takes more damage. I don't really want her taking more damage because, like I said, we don't have a healer. We want Forbidden Fist, which is about getting wounds and health when hostile effects expire, which improves her monk abilities, and gets Forbidden Fist, which basically you perform a forbidden technique that projects a part of the soul and a blast of pure force. Those struck are interrupted and enfeebled, which are very good effects to have on the enemy. Don't want to go into what they are. The damage of this is greatly increased. The monk's soul is cursed, so you want to get cursed. It's kind of that necromantic thing, so this is good. And you don't gain your wounds, which are your class resource from taking damage. How are we doing on temperature over here? Not bad. We can do swift strikes. A little bit too much apple ale here. Red's apple ale. I'm going to start with Force of Anguish, because this is going to knock people back and prone them. This is our good crowd control. And for our second class, now this is where things get a little weird to get the necromancy, or the long death stuff into it. I'm going to take Chanter. Chanter is kind of like a bard, but when you build them right, not really. So we're going to take the Chanter as the multi-class, even though it doesn't make a lot of sense. And we're going to take Scald so she can get some good critical hits. It's basically like a melee type Chanter. Melee weapon critical hits basically give her a phrase, which is the resource of a Chanter. And we're going to start with Come. This is what I mean right here. Come, Soft Winds of Death. Basically, every round, at the start of her turn, she will gain some health and deal 4 raw damage, which is basically just damage that's guaranteed, doesn't get reduced by anything, it just happens in an area of effect around it. Tears at the life force of all enemies in the area of effect, dealing raw damage. If at least one enemy is affected, you'll get some health. This is the only phrase I'll ever put on this character, and no matter where she is, as long as she is within 4 meters of somebody at the start of her turn, she just gets free damage and free health. It is just a no-brainer to me. And then she has some other spells and stuff like this. Is just a very monk-like thing. You basically knock people back and stun them. So it's perfect. I think it works well with monks. I think it's thematic. Let's see. I don't actually know Hecate's stats, but I imagine we need some might for some damage. We need plenty of constitution to absorb some damage, and we need some resolve. We need lots of resolve, because she only gets her class resource when spell effects end on her, when hostile effects end on her, and this reduces the hostile effect duration resolve. So that's what we want. We want hostile effect duration reduced, so that she can get more of her class resource much faster. And that's a pretty good stat spread. And we want a place that gives her resolve. I don't know where she's from. I don't know a whole lot about this character, unfortunately. So Ixima Plains, get that resolve up to 18. Good stuff. No idea about her background, so we're going to just say Drifter for now. Or maybe we should do Mystic. Yeah, let's do Mystic. Metaphysics, yeah, that makes a lot. Actually, Metaphysics, Arcana with this, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. This is Hecate. Alright. Let's do a... What is this? This is a quarterstaff, right? Yeah, quarterstaff. very monk-like weapon, and we will also do... What else does she use? Fists is what she uses, but I think she also throws daggers, so we're going to get some parrying blades. There's no thrown weapons in the game, unfortunately, but there is a mod that you can get for it, but I'm not using that mod right now. But we're going to do daggers and quarterstaff. Alright. That's going to be Hecate with the tiefling horns that we're going for. She'll just have to deal with being blue, because that's the only skin color I can get. Excuse me. From the pictures she's been posting, she wears a lot of black. We'll mix it up with some grays to do that. And we'll try... Well, yeah. I think she does have blue hair in the pictures, so... Gonna go with that. Eyes... Yeah, let's make them... Yeah, very death, creepy, necromancy. Alright, so head. There's our horns. Did you guys trust me? No? There's our tiefling horns right there. That's as close as I can get. We get some cool, like, monk tattoos on her face. That is what I'm sticking with. If I remember the hair correctly without alt-tabbing, it was, like, drawn back, like that. I hope I'm doing right by Whitley on this one. Alright, and for the voice, she's a monk, she's very stoic.
Nice and slow. Follow me.
I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Yeah. Some badass monk sitting in the back, just ready to pound some face with some fists. Alright, Hecate. First level Cantor. Quarterstaff, dagger, like thunder rolled, which basically is just a knockback and stun, which is brutal. Free damage, force of anguish, also a knockback and stun. She's going to do a lot of knockbacks and stuns. Forbidden fists, yeah, just all these things are just punch it, punch it, punch it, punch it. She's going to be in their face. She's going to be moving people around. She's your crowd control. Absolutely your crowd control. She's going to be knocking people into Salvador and Denim so they can crush them. Lock them down and crush them. Boom. Alright. Let's get her... You know what? Just the base clothing. It's all we really need. She doesn't need to wear much armor unless really want her to. Nah, that doesn't even look as good. We're doing base clothing. That just is better. Let's see, do we have a quarterstaff available? Quarterstaff. There we go. Yeah. Now we're talking. I think that's... I mean, I guess I could give her a ranged weapon, but not too worried about it. Not too worried about it. And let's go level her up. Alright, so she's a frontliner, so of course, like all our front lines, we want athletics up. I imagine a monk necromancy tiefling is rather intimidating, so she's going to be our intimidator. This is just my view of the character. Alright, so level 2. We don't want chanter crap. We want monk. We're going to want to get swift strikes to get that action speed up. Level 3. Again, athletics. And metaphysics, because that's monks. That's how they are. Do you want another one of these? No, I think knockbacks and stuns is all she needs from Chanter. And for Monk, oh, there's not a whole lot else we really care for in Monk. Anything we want over here? Yeah, let's take a free spell. We'll get Crashed Upon the Shield, which basically just shouts and reduces the armor of enemies in the area of effect. Also, a very... No, that's not as thematic as breaking an axe. Yeah. This is a buff for allies. No, that's not breaking an axe. We'll break shields. We'll break armor. That's more thematic to a monk. And fucking hell, before I forget, because I always forget to do this, is make sure that the actual chant is written into the chant book. And before I forget as well, I'm going to That way I don't lose them if I crash again. Export Hecate. Export Sandro. Bam. That way I don't have to rebuild them.
Still kicking,
To show off the whole party.
What'll it be?
And let's see what we have. Next on the list is Forain. Forain Treehorn. This is a male. This is a dude. It's actually kind of amazing how well Forain is going to just translate into this game. I'm so excited. Alright, so, like I said, this party has no true healer. And so your druid is going to be the closest to your team's healer. Now, luckily, Might helps in that. Might contributes to damage, healing effectiveness, and the fortitude defense. So, your healing effectiveness comes off of Might. And we're going to do single class. He's just a druid. No need to do anything crazy. Now, there's two options here. We can do the Life Giver, which is your druid healer, as it were. And while Spirit Shifted, which is basically your wild shape, it's basically you're turning into an animal, the druid's power level increases to cast rejuvenation spells, your healing spells. The penalty, you can't summon creatures and stuff, but basically your healing spells are empowered. They're much better. Which is good and all, but I don't think that's really in theme with the character. The character is a Circle of the Moon druid, which is more of the shifting and that sort of thing, like shifting into different animals and things like that, while healing with its spells. And honestly, being stuck to just... And in this game, if you're not a shifter, you can only wild shape into one animal ever. So we're going to go with shifter because this allows him to spirit shift into any of the spirit shift animals once per combat. And it lasts longer. So basically, he's a ranged caster when he's in this form that you see on screen. And if you need to get into melee, he can change into a bear, he can change into a boar, a stag, a cat, a wolf, has all these different options that he can do once per combat. And he still gets some free spells, and he can still select his healing spells that he's going to need for the party. So, first off, we have some spells here. Normally I take Charm Beast, but because there's no priest in the party, I'm going to take Nature's Vigor. Basically just, he gives the fit, he just basically can increase the entire party's constitution by 5. So that's what we want. It's not healing, but it's more health that he doesn't have to heal. We want him to be fairly strong because, again, remember, it increases the healing by 21%, so we're going to stick around that. We want to affect as many people as possible. And we want, because this right here, we don't want to have it too high because we want to make sure that he can still get into a fight. We don't want to max anything out with him because he's going to have to do a lot of different things like get into the fray and cool. That's what we need. I think that's a good spread. Let's see. We want to increase some constitution. That's going to be living... No, where are we at here? There it is. It'll be from Rawatai, so we can get that Constitution buff. And I had asked him what his background was for Forain, but it's not exactly something I can put into this game very well. So I genuinely have no freaking clue. He's not a colonist, but he comes from a pretty high family, protected by a pretty high person. So maybe aristocrat's the way to go. Yeah, that's fine with me. Aristocrat Faye. All right, so like I said, he doesn't really need to have a proficiency with a melee weapon, but he did. So I think he has a quarterstaff in game. So we're gonna just give him that, but we're gonna give him a rod. That way he can attack with greater energy, slow his initiative, and can do area of effect at range. If he ever needs to get into melee combat, he doesn't need to switch to the quarterstaff. He's just going to become a bear, or a boar, or a cat, or a wolf, or a stag. He's just going to spirit shift as a free action and then fight. So basically, he's going to reuse the rod most of the game, and then become an animal the rest of the game, like when he's in melee. So that's just how it's going to go. And this is the closest I can get to Forain. It's not any of the other colors, but it's at least a blue face and a not armor. Colors, let's see. I think he had like a tan-ish with a green. Yeah, you can see in the pants down there. What am I doing? Hey, #1 Pillars of Eternity streamer right now. That's crazy. I don't think many people stream this game anymore. He's definitely going to be blue. That's a little too... maybe a little brighter. Yeah, that's a good blue. That's a good blue. His hair is a brighter red. Let's see if we can... It's a solid red color. We'll do green eyes. We'll do green eyes. Head. No, he's not wounded up. There we go. Nice, good-looking man. Oh gosh, I can't remember his hairstyle. Was it flow? Ooh, that's very anime. That's foreign right there. Yeah, I appreciate that look. Did he have facial hair? I don't remember if he had facial hair. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in a lot of trouble. I don't remember if he had facial hair. I'm going to stick with this unless someone in the stream says... Okay, no, he does not have facial hair. Okay, cool. No facial hair on foreign. Chat is saying no facial hair. I'm going to go with that. He seems... Whew. There is no voice here that can properly do foreign justice. There's no rhyming, no reason, nothing. Long black hair for foreign? Really? That's not his hair color. No. It can't be. I was on the website earlier. It's not black at all. I would double check chat. But I can change it later, even if I save this. Yeah, we have pictures on the website. I'm pretty sure it's red, but I can't Alt-tab away right now. Let's see. So we're just gonna go with smooth. Because he has a smooth talking voice. Yeah, we're gonna go with heroic. I like foreign. He has that heroic soul about him. Foreign tree herd. Draxus, in chat, you are not an idiot. Alright, so he has Quarterstaff, Rod, which is going to be his main weapon, Nature's Vigor for help, and then Spirit Shift Bear, Boar, Wolf, Cat, Stag. All of them. And then Nature's Mark as the free spell. That just makes things easier to hit. Chibi has a beard. Okay. Well, that's something I'm going to have to do then. Got a beard. That's what I'm going with. I don't know what beard he has, but that's the one I'm going with. Accept. Cool. There's foreign. Armor. Not exactly happy with a lot of the options here, but no. He's going to stay in normal clothes until I can find him a better clothes. I'm not happy with the clothes. Weapon. We want to have that rod. And that quota staff. Yeah, perfect. Alright, let's level him up. Our druid man. Alright, let's see. Got a little of that. He's definitely going to want at least 1 point of Arcana. I know he's going to be mostly our caster, but athletic, have at least one just to have as emergency health. And down here, he's going to be our survival / religion, all that stuff, because he's a druid. He needs to have that survival. And for our 2nd level spell, there's no healing here whatsoever. So, I'm sorry, I keep checking chat. So for our 2nd level spell, we're going to take Charm Beast, because that is druid as hell, and we need to, in combat, if there's ever any creatures that we're fighting, we can just charm them to our side. And his intellect will help with that, because they'll be charmed longer. Level 3. Let's see. He wasn't really an alchemy guy. We'll do one more point of alchemy. I think we're going to start up Arcana next so he can use scrolls of healing. No, wait, we're going to do that now. Yeah. He's going to need some scrolls of healing, and I'm going to need him to cast them. He knows a bit about history, I believe. I'm not sure. But I don't really need him for much of the passive skills, so I'm just going to dip it around. Alright, so Druid, since he's a single class, he gets several things. He gets a new power level. He gets, second level spells. And so we're going to start off with Wild Strike Corrode. So what the Wild Strikes are is basically whenever you're in any of these Spirit Shift modes, you're going to get a damage type as extra damage. And we're going to do that as Corrode because when we were playing the game, he used Primal Savagery, which did acid damage, which is basically corrode damage. So we're going to take that. And the only healing spell right now is the Moon's Light. So we're going to take that so we can get 16 health restored per round for 3 rounds in a friendly area of effect. That's our bread and butter healing spell. He's not going to use the free spell of Insect Swarm almost ever because we need that healing. Because he's basically your only healer. Alright. Before I forget again, we're going to export Mr. Forain so that I can have him saved. Next on the list is Hephaestia. Hephaestia. Hire level 3 adventurer. Hephaestia. Sorry, I'm forgetting what I'm doing here. Female for Hephaestia. Hephaestia is... For race, I was caught between two things, because Hephaestia is an Eladrin, which is basically an elf, but is kind of like this nature elf thing, and I was kind of debating between a nature godlike, which kind of gives that mossy nature feel, or just sticking to elf, which we were able to kind of get the same look that she went for. And I settled for just elf. That way she could wear hats and get the proper hair color and not have these big antlers that she doesn't have. Went with Wood Elf. And she is a Ranger Horizon Walker. So this is something very, very difficult to translate into the game. It does not work well. So Horizon Walker is all about portals and things like that, and otherworldly Fey-ish magic, and it doesn't quite work here. So what I decided to do is to multi-class the Ranger here, because I think the Ranger still works well, but she needs to have a little bit more to kind of represent the multi-class and the Fae. So we're going to do multi-class. Not the multi-class, but the Horizon Walker and the Fae, excuse me. So we're going to start with Ranger. The thing about Ranger is it always has a pet, unless you select Ghost Heart, which basically... if your pet gets knocked out in combat, you get Bonded Grief, which basically means you're more inaccurate, you're not doing as well because your pet got killed. We want Ghost Heart because she doesn't have a pet, and Hephaestia doesn't typically care about things, as far as I can tell. So she would already be immune to Bonded Grief. And the penalty is that she has to actively summon her pet, and we can name it. It comes in as like this ghost creature, this kind of ethereal thing. It kind of makes sense as far as portals, like you're summoning something from the Feywild onto this plane. So that's why I decided to go with Ghost Heart. It's not a mechanical decision, it's just a thematics decision. She doesn't have any particular affinity for any particular animal, so I went with Antelope and Marked Prey. Marked Prey is your hunter's mark. It's the same thing. You mark something as prey and you get better attacks to it. Now, why did I do multi-class? Because the Ranger in Pillars of Eternity doesn't have spells. It just has abilities that you would expect that buff her arrows attacks. So, I decided to give her some spells by going through Cypher, which is basically going to increase her base attack. We're not going to do any subclass because none of these make sense for what we want to do. And I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to waste any time. So we're just going to do no subclass with the Cypher. So no bonus, no negative, and she's gonna get some spells. So she can blind. We're gonna get Eye Strike to blind foes in an area of effect, make them easier to get hit, make that sort of thing. Name animal companion. We're just gonna do Fey creature because she doesn't have any. It's just you summon a Fey creature. Now we want a little bit of that, but we want her to hit her target. So we want a lot of accuracy. Some damage. We want her to move quickly. She doesn't need Constitution since she's going to be ranged. So we can actually buff that up. So she'll have some high dex, perception, low con, and some decent damage. In fact, let's increase that a bit more. She's going to be just your backline damage dealer. A lot of her damage is going to come from Cypher, because Cypher base attacks get bonus damage because they're a Cypher. And Cypher basically, when they hit their target, they gain their class resource, and they deal a little bit of raw damage as like the psionic damage. We can just kind of call it like the Horizon Walker Fey damage. You really gotta bend your imagination with this, because Horizon Walker just does not translate well into the game. Yeah, she's pretty strong. Let's make her more accurate. Look at a 20 perception. She's going to see those traps well before Sandro does. Wow. Background, absolutely a hunter. That's an easy selection. Get both the bows. Quick thing to note, since we're playing in turn-based mode on Path of the Damned with, what's it called? Wodika's challenge and a couple other challenges. Hunting bow does not make a whole lot of sense to take or use the modal, use the proficiency, like a rapid draw, cost of accuracy, because you just never hit anything. It's too much of an accuracy negate, and it's mostly for the real time with pause mode, because you fire quicker, fire really really fast. But in turn based, you're only ever going to get one shot around, and it doesn't really help, but we're going to take it just in case she needs to use it for a unique weapon, and she might get other bonuses because it's a proficient weapon. Now, where is our redheaded? That's as close as we're probably going to get to Hephaestia. Maybe her hair's done up in the back, but the artwork has her a bit with more flowy hair. Colors. She had kind of the same getup as Foran, so we're gonna set that up there. She had very pale skin and very red hair. Yeah, very red. She's a Fey creature, so we want some Fey looking eyes. That'll be good for me. And let's see, it was really flowy. No. I think that's as close as I can get to the chibi artwork. Yeah, that's what I had decided earlier. Alright, in voice, I'm sorry.
Go for the eyes, trinket. Vax got nothing.
This is just a ranger's voiceover, so we're gonna go with Vexalia's voiceover. And I think Sullen fits her the most. You're just kind of sitting back, not very social, low charisma ranger. Hephaestia. I don't know if it's Dawn or Morning Bloom, so we're gonna go with Dawn. We're gonna go with Morning Bloom, actually. I can fit it. Nope, can't fit it, so we're gonna go with Hephaestia Dawn. Alright, this is what I was talking about. Oh, Soul Web. This causes a Cypher's weapons to generate a field of parasitic energy that lashes out at the target, increasing damage inflicted and generating focus for the Cypher. Yes, that's what I was talking about. So her arrows are going to deal extra damage from this, so she's absolutely going to be your damage dealer with this build. And she's going to be able to summon in some extra help, blind enemies. It's a really good build combatively, even though it's mostly trying to just translate a really bad translation over from D&D 5th edition. Oh no, it glitched. Uh-oh, that's obscene. we're just going to stick like that until the glitch goes away. Go away, glitch. Okay, good. Glitch is gone. Alright, so there's that. We've got her leather armor. I don't know what melee weapon she used, so I'm just going to throw her an S-Stock. Go away. I don't know why that glitch is doing that. But it doesn't happen down here, but that's all that's important.
Oh, that's easy.
That she doesn't have white hair, so she's still looking fine. So let's level her up. Now she is absolutely going to be stealthy and survivalist because oh no, not stealthy. She's our alchemist. No, she's not. What am I saying? Stealthy. And now we're here. This is all the cipher stuff. I don't think any of this matters right now. Nope. I think we want to just buff up the ranger stuff. Level 2, we're going to want to take that wounding shot. Next. And then we're going to buff up the stealth some more. And the survivalist. Because ranger. And... Let's see. Anything that makes sense for a Horizon Walker. Bring the echoes of an ally's past lives. Ooh, that's Fey-like. Yeah, we'll take that. That's a good thing to help inspire the ally. Quite strong. Oh, might and accuracy. That's a good spell to have. We're taking it. We're taking it. That is Hephaestia Dawn. Morning Bloom. Make sure to export her so I can use her in later games.
How can I help?
And that leaves my character.
Still kicking, eh?
Itty bitty tech. Sierra Mist cosplays. Decide to string by. I don't know what that means. Patience yields focus. Alright, so let me see what you have. This is going to be my character tech. Level 3. Female. Tact as a kobold. Obviously, there's no kobolds because you can't play Zarips. I think is how you pronounce the word because it's basically Pillars of Eternity's version of kobolds. If only they'd let me. Oh, I thought we froze up again. That scared me. So we're gonna take Orlin because it's small, short, and all that. There's two different ones: Wild Orlin and Hearth Orlin. I like Hearth Orlin for the look alone. I don't care about the ability there. And she is a wizard, and I am playing her straight wizard. Nothing else. Single class. Wizard. These are all subclasses. Basically, they give you better stuff for that, like conjurer spells, and then penalties to others by closing out other schools. I need her to have access to everything that I think we may need throughout the game. So we're not going to do any subclass. We're not going to have anything super powerful or anything. She's just a straightforward wizard. And there's two spells I've held on. She always has prepared, and that is Grease, otherwise known in Pillars of Eternity as Slicken. It's totally not the Grease spell, guys. Totally not the Grease spell. And Burning Hands, which is totally not Burning Hands, guys. Not Burning Hands. This is not Burning Hands. So we're just going to select the one right now. We're going to start with Slicken. And Tack's whole purpose is that she is a utility caster. She's not built to deal a ton of damage. She doesn't take huge damage-dealing spells. She has like a couple, like Burning Hands and Magic Missile and things like that, but it's just enough to defend herself, not enough to like destroy a whole party. Like she'll take Fireball just because that's what wizards do, but honestly, we want utility. So we're going to bump intelligence up all the way. Why? Because we want to affect as much as possible with our spells, and we want them to last as long as possible. So intellect needs to be absolutely paramount. Next thing, action speed will help us cast our spells much quicker. Of course, perception helps with accuracy. She doesn't need a whole lot of resolve because she's the Clothy. She shouldn't be getting attacked to begin with at all. We're going to bump up the might so that when she does a little bit of damage, when she does do damage... Look, I know she's really, really weak in the D&D version, but she needs to still do a little bit of damage, because wizards still need to do a little bit of damage. So we're going to keep might up just for the damage dealing, not because it's the quote-unquote strength thing. That'll be represented in resolve and constitution. She'll be easily dropped. Easily dropped. So we want our spells to be as fast as possible. Dex, intellect, she'll be able to move quickly to get out of the way. She'll be able to avoid things, and oh yeah, definitely with that reflex from both perception and dex. And her ability duration will last as long as physically possible. Where is she from? Well, she's technically from a big city in Azkazir, which we'll not give up now, but we need to... Oh, excuse me, that's embarrassing. We need to, like I said, bump up that intellect. So we're going to get intellect, and she... Oh, goodness, what is she? I'm not want to give anything away. You saw nothing. She is going to be good with wands and daggers, because that's what my character's good with. Good old tap. Oh, we still got some people here. And, let's see. Portrait. I like that portrait because she's pink, and that's got the little... what's it called? The scarf. Oh my gosh, my brain is fried today. And colors. Let's see. We want... blue, because she's a typical blue-robed wizard. Get some pink in there. Skin, let's get it as close to pink as we possibly can. Orange, I don't know, salmon. That's as close as I can get. Hair. Tack doesn't actually have any hair, because she is a reptile, or a dragon. It depends on what you think of kobolds. But, since I can use hair, I'm going to give her that color. And I can give her her pink eyes, which I think it's amazing. Perfect. If she did have hair, that would be her hair. And let's go to voice. Cute, innocent Pike voice. Pose, energetic, of course. There we are. That is Tack. Not a whole lot to start off with. She also doesn't have her grimoire. Oh look, I have a mod. So let's see. No. Let's put that on. Nice wizard's robe. Oh, I forgot to put this on forehand. Use the Psychers thing there. Take those off. She needs a wand. And a dagger. Oh. There we go. So, nice thing about it, she can have a melee weapon and still attack with that. And if someone comes up on her, she at least has the dagger to parry with to help increase her armor class a little bit. But it's not going to be much. Alright, let's level her up. Alright, so Tack is going to split her active skills between Alchemy and Arcana, because she is an alchemist as her job. Excuse me. And then she's going to be real... There's not a whole lot she can do down here except for Streetwise, because that's ducking and dodging the kith of the world. Second level spell is going to be totally not Burning Hands, guys. This is not Burning Hands. I want you to know this is not the Burning Hands spell. Level 3, we're going to up that Alchemy again and do a little bit more Streetwise. Now she has second level spells. Good thing to do. No, don't need any of that. She would be good to have. That's a good... She has a utility spell, an attack spell. Let's do another utility, Binding Web, basically just lock people in place. And let's do a defensive spell. Should we do level 1 or level 2? We'll do a level 1 defensive spell. We'll do Spirit Shield, just shield, because she does have that spell as well. Done. That is tack, folks. Do I have our inventory right? Yes, I do. Whoop. Forgetting what I'm doing here. So let's go attack. Let's export her so we don't lose her information.
Still
and let's
kicking,
quickly...
What'll it be?
Let's see. Okay, I got Sandro, so let's quickly redo
Kicking,
Salvador and get him. I'm just gonna fly right through it. So just remember, he is here to be our Snake Man. Where's Fighter? Fighter, Unbroken, Knockdown, all the way up, all the way up. Doot, doot, doot. Okay, a little bit more might. We don't need the intellect so much, even though he is the third smartest character in the party. That is not what I want you to do. We need the Constitution. Or wasn't he from... Yeah, we went with the Resolve for that. And he was Merchant. And we went with that and that. And that. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. Head and boop, boop. There we go. Voice, Stoic, Stoic. Yes. Salvador Zelak. Boop. Where is he? There he is. So here, where's my... Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. Sorry, for those of you who might just be joining, I am going back and redoing characters I had done at the beginning of the stream, just so I can make sure that they're saved for our playthrough. Athletics. Streetwise. No. I'm doing diplomacy. No, I thought we were doing insight. And there you go, that. Insight, athletics. That and that. Perfect. Sorry, just breezing through it. We'll repost so you guys can see the beginning of it. Before we freeze again. Ah, there he is. Salvador. Fully exported. For those who don't know, because I use mods to get this many people in a party, you can't, and I want to use all my customized characters, you export them so you can import them without hitting... Whoop, where are you guys going? Without hitting your recruited adventurers limit. You can only have a limit of 8, and if you want to have like more than 8 characters, you need to export them in another game, and then hire them down here, because see, they start to appear down here, like Foran, Sandro, Hecate, all of them. You don't have a limit on these guys down here. You have a limit on the ones up here. So we just need to get Denim put back in real quick, like. He was Island, Multiclass, Barbarian, Fury Shaper, Frenzy, Rogue, Street Fighter, Escape, Might all the way up, Dex all the way up. That's what I had before. We want might, we want might, we want might, we want might. There we go, might. And I think I went with Explorer. That and that. Brown. Ooh, not that bright. No. Hair, black. Denim, hair. Just man bun, right? Yeah, man bun. And then beard. Cool. Voice. Stoic. No, wait. That's Stoic. Feisty. That's what we went with. Pose. What did I do for him? I think I did Savage? I don't know if that's right. No, we did Stoic. Alright, so Denim. Denim. Already done. Boop. That is all the characters. Now we just need to finalize Denim, and then we are done here. Oh wait, that's right. Where's my greatsword? There we are. And then axe. And then export Denim. Alright. Oh, that's not right. I didn't need to export that character. And we needed bloodied. We wanted that. Perfect. Cool. Okay, perfect. Right where he needs to be.
Without a doubt. Prowling is so proud. Something you need.
Alright. So that is the party for Azkazir. This is the Az Kickers
Prowling is so good.
in Pillars of Eternity. And I think I'm going to continue a bit and show you guys our old characters from the campaign that I ran. So for that, we'll need to restart. I think I have the ability to keep doing that. So I DM'd for this campaign. It's a campaign where we went off and fought Vecna and blah 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 blah. It was very, very Critical Role-esque. So I'm going to go back through and create those characters. So if you guys are still around, especially the people that know us and have played D&D with me, you get to see me create your character here. Load. Boop. Let's head back so that we can not have that limit placed, that 8 hireling limit placed on us. But we have those characters saved, so pretty soon, I think I might start streaming it, but pretty soon I will definitely have started a stream where I play through the Pillars of Eternity with these characters. I'm excited to do it. So let's start off with Fotia. Now this is a character where the planets literally align between her character in D&D 5e and Pillars of Eternity. So Fotia was a fire Ganassi, which just is so goddamn perfect. We have a fire Ganassi right here. I don't like the horns so much, but it's not something I can do much with. Make her a bit smaller. She was a young fire Ganassi. Now, she was a sorceress, in our campaign. There is a sorceress class, but you have to multi-class to get it. So, in order to do that, we'll need to have at least one class a wizard. We're going to go with Evoker, because she was our spell-casting monster. She did tons of damage, and what we want is any spell with the evocation tag has a chance to double cast. Yeah, sure, we lose transmutation and conjuration, but that's fine. We don't really care about that. We want power from her fire spells. So that's what evocation is. Fire. Fire. Fan of Flames. Easy. Done. Not Burning Hands. Let me remind you, it's not Burning Hands. I don't know how long I'll keep that joke up. But, see, look, there it is. Sorcerer. If you take your second class as Druid, you're a sorcerer. And you're thinking, what? She didn't turn into animals. That's fine. We can be a fury. You won't turn into an animal. You'll turn into a stormblight, which is basically a raging electronic storm. And of course, you guys can't see it because we've already played it when we weren't streaming. She was essentially fire and lightning in one character. So we can have that here. That's just amazing to me. And all of her spells deal more damage because elemental. It's just great because they get more range and penetration and blah blah blah. It's just she's gonna be a monster of a damage dealer with casting. So we want to have the damage. Here's some damage. Sunbeam. We're just gonna start Sunbeam or Winterwind. Let's do Winterwind because that's elemental. And we want her damage to be up. I mean, she wasn't canonically strong, but we need her. She is a damage caster, so we want her damage up in that range. She was actually a pretty tanky caster too, so I think I might just lower her resolve and increase dex so she can cast a bit faster. But yeah, that's it. That's what I'm doing. She will be from a place that gives her intellect. Old Valia is fine. She didn't know it at the time, but she was an aristocrat throughout the game. We'll get Scepter and Rod since she was a caster. No, we'll give her a melee weapon of Quarterstaff. That'll be fine. So she had the Staff of the Magi, so staff-esque weapons will be perfect. And it's either that one or this one. This one encapsulates the goodness of Fotia a bit more. Colors. Well, she... no, I like red and... Yeah, that's fire right there. I can't select her skin, can't select her hair, because it's all chosen for me. Yep, no selection here. The big ram's horns, or... That's the one I'm going to use because it's the least horn-like of the three. Because she did not have horns. I think Pike's voice is perfect for her.
Alright, I'll go take a look.
And she was always really happy and energetic. Very, very similar to Tack, actually. Actually, vice versa. Tack's similar to her in that regard. Fotia Yase. What time is it? Oh, it's getting late. All my friends have gone to bed and they've left their computers on just to watch me. I love you guys. Alright. Evoker, Dancing Bolts, blah blah blah. All the electric and fire and she's... all of it here. It's perfect. Alright. So let's... She was proficient with a scepter, so that gets her plenty of that. Oh, can she do? That's right, scepters are dual wielded now. That is amazing. We'll give her her melee weapon. Boop. There we go. Perfect. Staff of the Magi is not really in the game, but we can get pretty close. Alrighty.
Ready when you are.
Let's level her up. So she is going to be good at Arcanum and Metaphysics. Well, actually, she was kind of religious in the game, so we're going to get her religion up. And let's see, what other spells do we want? See, look, all these spells are like removed from her because they're part of the, they're not part of the Evoker subclass. Thrust of Tattered Veils is a very good spell to have on hand for damage. Remember, we want the damages. This is a class that will just murder people in droves. Any more damage here? Yep, right there. Right friggin' there. Not only that, her spell slots are split between two classes, which means she has 4 spells as opposed to the 2 she would have right now. It is bonkers.
Is that all?
It's just amazing how this stuff just lined up for
I'm
her.
here for you.
Still kicking, eh? It's...
Oh, hey, don't forget, export! Export! Save the character.
Yes?
Save the
Still
world!
kicking, eh? It's
Save the
slim
galaxy.
pickings until this...
Next on the list is Arendelle. Now, Arendelle is also one of my favorite builds because he was an elf, a typical ranger. He was fighter, ranger, arcane archer, the whole shebang. So, I just want to show you how well his character translates with this multi-class. He was a ranger first, and he was an arcane archer, which is just here. The arcane archer is simply here. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Unfortunately, though, he will have to have a animal companion, which he didn't have in the game. But a couple other people did have animal companions, or at least they had familiars. And towards the end of the campaign, we had I'm going to take Mark Prey. We'll get Wounding Shot later. We had Strom actually had a familiar named Good Boy. So guess who's going to have the familiar to represent Strom's familiar? He's going to hold on to it. He was also a fighter, which makes him a hunter, which is essentially his background. Now, something I really like with this build, especially if you're using Wodika's Challenge. If you're not using Wodika's Challenge, I would recommend either Devoted or no subclass, or Black Jacket even, so you can... Actually, Black Jacket, if you're not using Wodika's Challenge. That way he can swap to melee at any time for free. But since we are using Wodika's Challenge, you need somebody that can last a long time in a dungeon, because no one else is going to really be able to replenish their spell slots or abilities without some rest. If we take Tactician, he'll be able to regenerate both his discipline. I've tried it. It regenerates discipline and his bond, which is his ranger resource. It will actually keep him, as long as he's not wounded, he will be able to just keep going through each fight as long as you are flanking your enemies at the end of combat. He'll be able to regenerate in combat his resource pools. So it is... Make sure you take that, so his archery is really good. Goodest boy. That's Strom's familiar, just saying. Okay. Some dex, we want him to do some damage. Don't need him to have con or resolve. We just need the dex. Perception, we need him to be accurate. We need accuracy from a ranger. So, that's what he's going to have. And can we get a little bit more accuracy out of him? Can we? Accuracy, please? Perfect. It's from Sithicus, but we want that perception bonus. And he wasn't a mercenary. He was a dissident in his hometown. He was a rebel. That's right. We're gonna go with dissident. Take those. So he has the bow and arrow. And we can find the most generic, I'm an elf archer, look we can find. Perfect. And you know what else? The standard elf is perfect. We're done. We don't need to do anything else with him. That's just Arendelle, the standard elf. And we'll give him a cool ass voice.
Another for the queen. I am your eyes and ears.
He was kind of a sullen guy, dying all the time. We'll keep him right there. Perfect. I hope I got that last name correct, because that would be embarrassing. So, Overdraw, Rapid Shot, Discipline Barrage, Marked Prey, all constant recovery, and he can put Magic Missile on his arrows. That's the point of an Arcane Archer. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Alright, let's make sure he's got his itemization. leather armor, the crappy level 1 leather armor. And that is his backup weapons. Yeah, just as a backup. His main weapon is going to be the longbow. Let's level him up. Let's see. He was a ranger. We don't need so much in the athletics realm, but stealth is actually pretty good for him to have. And survival. Survival and stealth. That's going to be his 2 main skills. At range, neither knockdown nor mule kick are going to matter to him. So right now for fighter, until we get to like the later levels where we're doing penetrating strike and fighter stances and confident aim, really all he's ever going to put into fighter for the first 5 to 7 levels is just discipline barrage. Everything else right now is going to go into ranger. Stealth, survival. Like I said, no reason to put anything into fighter just yet. He's got all that, and we can make his companion a bit more resilient. And there you have it. You have an early Arendelle. And there's Goodest Boy. Alright.
I'm here.
Don't forget to save the character.
Yes?
Thor, where'd you go? Why are you always
Still
running off
kicking,
in
eh?
the dark?
It's slim.
Right, next on my list is Strom. Now, Strom was a Goliath fighter, Eldritch Knight, that could shapeshift into a werewolf. Weirdly, we can do that here. It's going to take some finagling and not making him a fighter, because we want to represent his I'm a big, beefy, scary dude. So I'm going to actually make him Barbarian and Druid. I know that sounds wrong, like just wrong, but we can do it. So he was a fighter that could cast spells and turn into a werewolf. So he was also he had 30 strength at the end of the campaign, so we need to represent that. So all those things need to be represented, so we're going to start with Barbarian. A thing about his turning into a werewolf is that he kind of worshipped a god called, I took straight from this game, called Galawain, about evolving and overcoming things. And in the game, we had a mechanic where he would eat things, and he would kind of gain a piece of them if they were like a boss or something. So why doesn't he eat things? Gains flesh community. Target hostile deceased kith, wilder, or beast. Devour their corpse, healing the barbarian and granting them rage. So Barbarian allows him to be strong, beefy fighter man and represent that thing he did of eating things and gaining their abilities. That's great, and he can replenish his rage. Even though they're more expensive to use, he replenishes his rage by eating the dead things. It's glorious that we get to represent that here in this game. Neither of these things are really Strom related, but we're going to use them anyway. We're going to use Rage just because. And Druid. Now, Druid's going to represent his ability to cast spells from the Eldritch Knight in D&D 5th edition. And his ability to turn into a werewolf. So, we're not going to use Shifter like we did with Foray. We're not going to use Fury, because that's not going to shift him into what we want. Animist? Or, Ancient is a summoner. Life Gifter's a healer. That doesn't make any sense. So Animist is what we're going to go with. Because it's just going to be damage spells for free and no penalty. That's all we need. Let's see. We need to find spells that are more like wizard spells, because that's what Eldritch Knight was. So we're going to go with Dancing Bolt. He's just going to deal some lightning, electric damage. And this is the Spirit Shift. So now, unlike Foray, which can do all of these, he's going to just be wolf, because he was a werewolf. So in combat, he can just become a wolf, and then eat a corpse, and then run off and scream and be a terrifying terrifying man. Trust me, it's a glorious, just amazing class, or just setup. I promise you, this is you're gonna love Strom. I love playing it because it's just like, I'm a werewolf. I killed you. Now I'm gonna eat you. It's great. I love how well Strom actually gets translated into this game. We need might. Where's my might? There we go. Living lands. Gives him might. 21 strength. He's our big strong man. What was he? Oh yeah, he was just absolutely a hunter in these big cold lands up in the north. He used axes. That's literally all I need to use, but I have to find another one, so we're going to give him axes. Unfortunately, he was a Goliath, and the closest to Goliath is that. I don't know if I can find... There's not really a good bearded Goliath thing anywhere, except for that one, unfortunately. And these are all the females. So that's the one we're stuck going with, because it's the closest, even though Strom had hair. Let's see. He was kind of bluish. Kind of... yeah, let's do that, because his armor was brown. Skin, white as possible, with blue markings from being a Goliath. Hair, black hair. Oh, why is it so bright? Maybe it's just the contrast. Eyes, I don't know what his eyes were. Blue, maybe? There we go. There we go. Head. Which tattoos do we want? I like these ones better. Hair. See, that looks girly now until you add a nice, manly Strom beard. There we go. Now we're talking to Strom. Now we're cooking with oil.
Oh, Strom Jaw! They won't see me.
He's Grog. He's our Grog. You're getting the Grog voice. And you're getting savage. Because you are Strom.
Strom beer veins.
I don't know if that's how we spelled it, but that's what I'm going with. Flesh Communion, Carnage, Spirit Shift Wolf. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Alright, let's get him... Oop, not what I wanted. Boop! Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Now, he didn't really wear armor, but since he's going to be our frontliner and kind of does need... We're going to start off with this armor. Not thematic to what he wore, but it is what will work. There. Nice. That is Strom. This is more Strom, but that's Strom. And now let's upgrade him. Athletics, of course, and Intimidate, because he's strong. We don't need a whole lot of spells right now, but use a yell. Let's get blooded for that extra damage. We want him to deal more damage. Chat is being so quiet, you guys. Where'd you go? I love seeing your little chats. You're not distracting at all, I promise. And Intimidate. Athletics and Intimidate is what I'm going to stack with him, because it's just going to be perfect. Nope, still nothing we need from there. Let's just go ahead and get... Really don't need anything to the next level, like Barbaric Blow, where he knocks someone back and does carnage. See, the next level spell for Druid that I really want to take is Taste of the Hunt, because it just works with the werewolf build very well. He basically attacks and heals off of the attack and basically bites somebody. What the hell. Nature's Mark is fine. That's a... No. We'll just take the L. Ooh, that is Strom, everybody. We're almost done here.
Yes? Still kicking, eh?
Next up
What
is
would be?
Kerchik.
It's slim.
Kerchak was a rogue scout, and there is a class called Scout in the game. It's perfect. He was a Kinku. Little Kinku. So we're going to go with Orlin for the Kinku. And, we'll go with one. No. No, we don't want the resistance. We need the hit to crit conversion. That's what we need. So we're going to multi-class with him. He was a straight rogue throughout the game, but because of what he does in this game, we're going to need him to multi-class a bit. So he was a rogue. He was a level 20 rogue. We're going to take Assassin for the Assassinate, gain bonus penetration, accuracy, and critical hit damage, because he was a flimsy little Kinku that was all about one-hit wonders. It was just all about sneak attack. So we don't care that he's going to take received damage increase, because he's going to stay at range. We want crippling strike. And I know this is... he's going to kill me for this, but because his subclass was Scout, and this is called Scout, I'm taking the multi-class Ranger. And we're taking Sharpshooter. Bonus hit to crit conversion when attacking targets greater than 4 meters away, and if he gets up close, he gains armor penetration when attacking that close. Since he uses a rifle, he's gonna come last in the initiative order anyways. So I don't care that he's got penalized initiative. I'm gonna take Marked Prey. He didn't have an animal companion either. So who else had a oh yeah. I don't remember. We're gonna go with this character if anybody remembers. No wait, no. I lied. He also played during our Honey Heist one-shot a bear. We're going to give him that bear, because we have to. We want him to be as accurate as hell. We don't really need the speed. And we could use some damage. So he's all about hitting well and dealing solid damage. Doesn't represent his strength that he had, but this represents his ability to deal the damages. We want him to have perception, yes. We want him to hit everything. And he was an urchin, if I remember correctly, so he was kind of like skulking around. Not a... Drifter's good. Pistols, rifles. And there's literally no good portrait for Kerchak because he was a bird, and there's literally no birds here. So we're just going to go with the closest looking guy that I can find that's not anywhere near close. Black, red, because it's hairy. And then black, yellow eyes. That's as close as I can get to a Kinku. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Head. What hairstyle would a bird have? I don't freaking know. I mean, honestly, if I was saying what a bird would have. That's dumb. That's real dumb. That's the closest I can get to feathers, guys. Please be nice to me.
Let's go.
Time to see you.
Alright. Little skulking around Kinku. Oh, does it not let me do it? There we go. Pistol, rapid shot, aim shot with the arquebus, the rifle, marked prey, Dimitri, the bear, crippling strike, sharpshooter, sneak attack, assassinate. He is all about one-hit wonders. He will murder a man. And just get him some armor. Where's my rifle? Basically, he will not use pistols all that often until I can get him a third weapon slot. but he's gonna want a decent defense. If he gets into melee. Whoa! Thank you, Glitch. Welcome back. There we go. Nice rifle. That's Kerchak. Let's level him up. Now, he's going to want to be your guy that's opening and picking locks, so we want mechanics, and we want streetwise, because he's an urchin. That's what urchins do. So for him, we want him to be able to get out, so level 2 will take escape. Level 3, mechanics, streetwise. Yep, wounding shot at level 3. Perfect. That is Kerchak, our Kenku rogue sharpshooter. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, can't forget to export him.
Yeah.
Alright, Thorl. Let's see. Next on the list is Trip. Now, I actually already have Trip right here. Edwin Tannigan. But I'm going to go ahead and build him, but not save him, because this is a similar build. Well, I guess... Yeah, I'm not going to save him.
Still kicking, eh?
So I'll just walk you through him. He was a human fighter. Human. Meadow folk. And he was just a straight-up fighter, so we're going to go single-class fighter. Boom. And what we did for him is he was a battle master. So that is easily represented as the tactician class. This will be really, really good, just like Arendelle, who had the tactician for his regeneration. Man, I don't want to do both, do I? I do. Battle master. All down here. We can have 2 characters that regenerate their class resource, so that if you get stuck in those long dungeon halls and don't have any prepared food, because we are using Wodka's challenge, you're going to need that. So we want knockdown. Start off. Constitution. You don't need him to do damage. He's just your fighter. But he is a dex-based one, so we want him to act early in the rotation. So we got to get his dexterity up pretty well and not have a negative stat anywhere. That's good. That's good. That's good. Resolve is good because he's going to be your frontline guy. What was he? He was a farmer initially. And then he became a drifter, part of a... That's right, I'm remembering. He was actually a criminal. We're going to stick with drifter for now, though. Yeah. He used a rapier and a buckler. Perfect. Right there. Just the 2. And... is that the one I used earlier? I think I used that one. But the one we had just a second ago, where did it go? That was a good one, too. Where was the base one? There it is. That one's pretty good. That represents Tannigan pretty well. Colors, he wore black. Lots of black. I don't think he had jet black emo hair, though. He was closer to brown. A little bit bright. Yeah, that's good. Eyes, I don't think that was ever discussed. We'll just leave him blue. Head. He had basically your hero's cut. A nice beard. Perfect. Voice. Yeah. Just a very as a matter of fact kind of guy. And give him sullen. He was a depressed kind of dude too. And it was Edwin Tannigan. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I think we have enough to save this one and kind of show you around and level him up a bit. We'll have 2 Edwin Tannigans in the team. We'll have clean shaven and happy, and then depressed and alcoholic. I can't believe I actually did that. That's hilarious. That makes my day. There we go. Alright, so let's give all the good shit to the one we're making. Give him his rapier, his buckler, and some good leather armor. There we go. That is Edwin Tannigan. Let's hop on over here. He is a fighter, so we want our athletics, and he got kind of religious through that experience. We're gonna do the religion. He worshipped the Raven Queen. We're gonna give him that because that's the only thing we can get. Level 3, athletics and religion. Now, since he was a single class, he gets some stances, and we're gonna give him weapon and shield style. Basically, extra armor class, and the deflection bonus also applies to reflex, making him a lot more likely to avoid fireballs. Alright, so let's get rid of this one. And let's get the one we just made, because that's the one I'm going to play with. Yep. Cool.
Still kicking, eh?
I won't have this character, the original Edwin that I had in here, for my playthrough. I'm going to use a different character for that. One of my own, in fact. So we just did Trip. Now we need to do the lady that doesn't exist, Sage. That totally does exist, because she was awesome. Now, she was also a tiefling. I think it represents better Sage if we do something more similar to just a human, because she was kind and not tiefling-like at all. And also, it kind of gives less horns in the party, I guess. I don't know. I just prefer Sage as a human because I can give her cool hats. And she'll be a single class. She was a bard, our first straight bard. I love chanters in this game, and I can't wait to show off Chanter because it's so cool. Now, she was all about the way the player for Sage played was all about inspiration. Troubadour, I think that's how you're pronouncing that, allows for linger phrases to be increased. So what that basically means is throughout combat she can have 2 buffs happening throughout combat at any time. But if she wants to cast a spell really quickly, she can use a modal. Basically, I need to cast spells faster, so I'm going to get rid of the 2 phrases and then start casting spells. So she can jump between the 2. Troubadour is so good. It's such a good thing. So that is what we are going to use for her. She's going to start with Inspire at the sight of their comrades. Their hearts grew bold. That's just straight up inspiration right there. And she will also get a spell. Oh, that's a summoning. She will get Not Failed by the Axe, because that spell is just a buff. It's more inspiration. It's all she is. It's just buffs. Buffs the character. We want her as smart as can be to get that area of effect so she can get more people. She's not here to deal damage. She's just here to sit in the back and pass out buffs. Sweet. Where's that intelligence? Old Valia. Need that intelligence. And I believe she was just a drifter as well. She just traveled and sang her songs as a bard. Alrighty. She used a crossbow, and I think she had a sword, just a regular old sword. And Sage. Now, that is a cool character, but that's not Sage. Sage was more... yeah. Not an elf, though. Not an elf, but... not making me happy. Where's a good picture? Not the best artwork, but there it is. That's the one I wanted. I love that one. Sage wore... I don't remember what she wore. All I know is she had red hair, maybe? Well, it's been well over a year since I played with the character, so bear with me. And we will... Do. Now, start off official.
I'm sorry, but you have to be stopped.
Perfect. Boom, 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 baby, boom. Boop. There we go. Good old Sage. I'm gonna keep those closed because they look nice. Oh, I gotta do... Who's next? Oh, we only got 2 more after this. This will be fine. We're almost done, folks. So she'll have a crossbow because she sat in the back and used the crossbow. And she had a sword. Where's... They're around here somewhere. I'm losing my goddamn mind. There they are. She had a sword. Whoop. Here we go. Perfect. You got your Sage. And she'll be our history buff and arcana because she's a bard. And she will gain, let's see, do we want another part of the song? We want another spell. We want another part of the song. So her second verse will be Dull the Edge, Blunt the Point. And for third level, get out of here, Chance. Yep. Oh, no. We want at least 1 point in athletics and history because she is... Yeah, we'll go insight because insight's always good to have. Now she gets another power level. So what we want is something that buffs the allies. This is the only spell that buffs allies. And now for our phrase, we can either take a debuff for foes or a buff. We want buff because this gives us resistance to afflictions and curses. That's what we want. Now my favorite part of the Chanter is the book. Chanter's book. Write songs. Inspiration. Starts off with that, and then as she gets closer to enemies, she can dull the edge, blunt the point, which is for foes, and reduces their damage dealt by pierce slash, and then she goes into another buff. So basically 2 of these will be active at any given time because she is a troubadour. As long as that is off, she'll have 2 active during
I see
combat.
where you're going with this.
Boop. Sage exported. Saved.
You need my help?
Still kicking, eh? It's slipped.
Alright. So after Sage, we have Gurnak. Gurnak. He was a half-orc paladin of Siren, I believe. So he was a fire paladin. Fire. So he would have been an Amawa. He was a big, tall, tough dude. I don't know if I like either. We're going to go with Coastal because of the Might Affliction bonus. And he was a single-class paladin. Boom. So, these are the subclasses. These are different orders of paladin. We can go into all these, but I think it was... No. The Darkosi Paladini. Basically, Paladini, I don't know how to pronounce this. Go ahead. Basically gives him Lay on Hands, and Lay on Hands grants a minor flame shield. This was a paladin all about fire, and a flame shield is thematic and good. We're going to do this. Flames of Devotion. Remember, he's a paladin all about fire. Flames of Devotion, basically, in this game, is your smite from D&D 5th edition. Resolve, we want him to be able to get up there and take damage. His might is good because he's going to want to deal damage, and he does a little bit of healing, so we want his resolve maximized. And we want a little bit of... You don't need a whole lot of dexterity. We want a little bit of intelligence because paladins have AoEs as well that buffs allies, and we want that to be a little bit further out. Yep, he can be from the Adir Empire. And part of the clergy. Yeah, he was all about Syrian. Now, he used a hammer. Boom. But that's a one-handed weapon. So what's a good hammer-esque weapon we can use that's a two-handed? A big Morning Star. Body blows are great. Right, so I know he's not going to like this, but this is the one I use for Garnak. Garnak is all about fire, so we'll give him fire colors. Now let's mix them up. Let's do that in reverse. He was a half-orc, so we'll try and get closer to green. Ugh, it's a little too blue for me, but that's fine. Hair. He didn't have any hair anyway. Orange eyes. That's Garnak. Oh gosh, he still has brows. We want black. Yeah, perfect. I don't think he had a beard, so picture, face, perfect. It's closest to an orc that you'll get. Noble. Pose. Yeah, he's either gonna be... Yeah, he's a paladin. He's heroic as hell. Yes, that's Garnak. Garnak. Warhammer, Morningstar, Flames of Devotion, Faith, blah, blah, blah. Now, I normally put him in full plate like he was in our campaign. Oop. But I don't have full plate here, so we're just going to have to settle for scale mail. And no helmet. So let's give him a hammer or two. Yeah, I don't really like using hammer on him just because it's a one-handed, and Garnak used it as hammers as two-handed. So I typically use... Oh, come on, game. There you go. Use it so that we get just the two-handed effect, and it just looks badass, in my opinion. Oop, nope, not what I wanted to do. Again, using a mod to do this many characters all at once. Let's level him up. Athletics, because he's a frontliner. And religion as a social. Now he's a single class paladin, so we can probably do retribution. Gains a stacking bonus to damage when dealt damage. I'm gonna be honest, with Garnak or with any straightforward paladin, they're not terribly useful until this level here. Power level 4 is when paladins get almost a must-have in your party. They go from like, they're nice to have, to I need them. Because this does healing in an AoE every round, and this revives down to players. If they're down, this will get them up. This is just an absolutely must-have line in your party. So, but first we're going to... Excuse me. We're going to have Retribution. Basically, he can deal some more damage if he gets attacked. And then he's going to get a new power level at level 3 because he's a single class character. And we'll spread it around. We'll get some metaphysics in there. And we'll get Zealous Aura. So he'll be able to help out with aura effects. And I don't know if I want to do that just yet. The defenses. Because I do need Sworn Enemy. This will help him mark an enemy to deal more damage to. And then, of course, later in the line, we'll have more and more fire stuff for this guy. Like Inspired Path, Fire. Shared Flames. Eternal Devotion. Sworn Rival, no. There we go. Brand Enemy. While the brand lasts, the enemy will take burn damage over time. So once we get the power level 3, at level 5, we'll brand the enemy. This is Paladin's going to be all about fire, essentially. It's a beautiful thing. It's just beautiful. Let's turn that defensive bonus on. So everyone around him starts getting more armor class. Or not armor class, but more armor rating, which is reduced damage. It's very good to have the front line. Let us export him. Saved. And finally, we have Mindy. Mindy.
Still kicking, eh?
Our
It's
latest character to join this party. She is... Like, if you guys are going to play... If anyone's going to play this group through in this game, I would have Mindy as the captain, because she was a god of Lathander, I believe a halfling god of Lathander, so we're going to go with Orlin. Hearth Orlin. Lathander was the god of rebirth and light and all that stuff, which is exactly Aothis in Pillars of Eternity. So if you're going to go down chasing Gon or Aothis in this game, she should be the captain, because then she's going to be chasing down the closest to her god in the game. So she was a priestess of the light god. So Aothis, Sunbeam, Withdraw, Watchful Presence. She's going to be all about healing. All about healing. So first off, we want to start off with Restore, because that's your healing spell. You want plenty of intellect, you want plenty of might, you want some resolve. Constitution, you don't need perception so much as a priest. There we go. Yes. And clergy, of course. She used mace. We're gonna go with mace, and I think she had a shield. Oh gosh, I could be wrong. We're gonna give her a shield anyway. And honestly, what would be correct for Mindy would be, that face, but we're gonna go with something more like her. I think that's close enough. It looks like she's got some armor on. We'll go with that one. Really, Xena? Oh gosh, I don't remember her hair color, but I want to say like Southern Belle, dirty blonde, maybe. Gosh, I wish I remembered. Yeah, no. No. I don't remember what we had for the character. It's been so long since I've played, but I think that's the most Southern Belle we're gonna get. Yeah, that'll contrast a lot better. Perfect. There's nothing here that can do Mindy justice, so we're just gonna go with. Yep. And Pious, because she was a cleric. Show us clerics move. Perfect. Mindy. I don't remember if Mindy had an E. I'm gonna say no. Holy Radiance, Aothis, Sunbeam, blah blah blah. Perfect. And I do have to get rid of somebody since we already have Trip in here. We'll drop Trip 2 and put Mindy in. Alright. Mindy. Perfect. And she had a mace. I believe a shield. I want to say she had a shield. I could be entirely wrong. There we go. We have Mindy. Oh, and we need some heals in here. Psyker's Belt, added healing, and Gon's Pledge Ring that does more healing. Perfect. Let's get her leveled up. Want just a tad of athletics. And we need religion's high enough, we need metaphysics. Alright, obviously, level 2 priest is going to want a blessing spell. Religion, metaphysics, history, insight. Yeah. Oh no, she wasn't the brightest if I remember correctly. Yeah, we're just gonna stick with religion and metaphysics. And up here, ooh, we'll do one more athletics, I guess. And since she's a straight paladin or straight priest, excuse me, she will get her second power level. Pillar of Faith, Iconic Projection. I like this one because it does damage and healing. And that's another good one to have. Suppress Affliction. Yep, that's a good one because it just gets rid of bad effects. And there you have it, folks. That is everybody that was part of my last campaign. That's not the formation we want. Kerchak, get back. Sage, get right there. Photia, you're casting in the back. Garnet, get up there. Flanked by the familiars. That's Mindy. Mindy, you want to be right there in the front. Okay, everyone move back here. Oop, don't forget to export. There we go. Alright, now they should be in the correct formation. Perfect. Who's that? Oh. We have Strom. We have Trip. We got Garnak up at the front line with flanking familiars. We have the Priest in the middle, ready to give out heals to wherever they need to. We have casters just a bit further back, and then we have our ranged. We have our rangers, our scout, and our ranger back here with the rifle and bow. And they are a nasty, nasty team. It is a fun group to run around with, and with the mod, you can fit every single one of them into the group. It is a wonderful game. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight, and I will see you guys later on the I believe it was the 26th. Yep, 26th for our next Azkazir game. You guys are amazing. Thank you.